UPSC civil service examination main result will be out soon, and those that qualify for the personality test will be wondering what they should do next. Usually they rush to attend a lot of mock interviews. Yes, mock interviews are important, but I have a few suggestions to offer on the basis of my own personal experience in giving personality test twice, once in 1980 and then in 1981, and thereafter guiding a lot of aspirants during the past 6 years for preparing for personality test. And my suggestion is very clear on this regard. My suggestion to all of you is, yes, do go for mock interviews, but not after or when there are just 15 days left for your interview. Don't go to mock interviews after that, because mock interviews are basically for assessing where you stand. And imagine 2 days before the actual personality test, if you go to a mock interview and you are told certain negative things, what will that do to your confidence? So think twice before you rush to mock interviews. As I said earlier, one mock interview or two mock interviews, maybe 15 days before your interview, a final personality test, it's fine, but not beyond that. So what should you do? My suggestion to you is that the focus has to be on group discussions. They can have an amazing impact on your final outcome. I've been talking about improving your communication skills in general, but if you have good communication skills, the chances are that you will do well in personality test. Of course, developing communication skills is a long-term activity. It can't be done in 15 or 20 days, but group discussions can help you in a number of ways. Let me explain this to you. How can and why should you have group discussions? Number one, group discussions will help you in articulating your views in a much coherent, in a much logical manner. You will be able to express what comes to your mind. On many occasions, you know what you got to say, but you don't have the right words. You don't know how to go about mentioning them. So if you indulge in group discussions regularly, it will help you bring out the best that you have. So one, it improves your articulation. Second, it improves your presentation. Over a period of time, say you do 15, 20, 30 group discussions, you will start understanding where exactly you're going wrong, and you can work on it, and your presentation will become much more logical. So whereas it will improve your articulation, it will also improve your presentation. Third, and a very important aspect is that one way of recalling what you've read is to discuss it. I have often explained, how do you retain what you read? Of course, while you read, you should focus on what you're reading. You should try and understand what you're reading. You should reflect on what you've read. But if you somehow get down to discussing what you've read, the chances are that you'll retain it. So your articulation will improve with these group discussions. Your presentation will improve, and you would be able to recall what you've read. You will not have those brain fades which sometimes happen at the time of a personality test or an interview, where you try to recall what you've read or understood and you are unable to recall. In such a case, if you had group discussions on those issues, you'll be able to do it. Group discussions also help you clarify certain things, because you will be discussing in a group. So there would be a few things that you may not know very clearly, and one of your friends or colleagues who's a part of that group discussion would be able to assist you in understanding that. So as somebody explains something to you, not only does it benefit you, but the person who is explaining to you also stands to get benefit. So all these things will help you a lot. And finally, if you benefit out of better articulation, out of better presentation, out of your ability to recall what you've read, you will grow in confidence. One of the problems that I face with a number of aspirants who are preparing for personality test is that they are nervous. They lack the confidence. And if you practice this, if you practice group discussions, then you will have much more confidence in yourself, and probably the nervousness that precedes a personality test will not be there, or at least it will be reduced substantially. Now the next question is, how do you do that? During my time, it was very difficult. I was in the police service when I appeared for the second interview, and I had the advantage of about 15 to 16 officers qualifying for Foreign Service, Indian Administrative Service interview. So we constituted ourselves into small groups and had discussions. So we had physical discussions. Of course, that's the best way of going about it. But nowadays you have other facilities available. You can constitute a WhatsApp group of 4 or 5 persons each of those that have qualified. Decide upon a topic that you need to discuss every day. And that topic could be any current topic or a problem that is faced or an issue that you want to seek clarification on, and then have a discussion every day. Now, this discussion will be led by a principal speaker every day, and you can define and decide every day who's going to be the principal speaker for the next day. You can also decide on the topic for the following day, and that principal speaker speaks on that particular topic for 10 minutes, followed by comments by other members of that group. And this principal speaker could be by rotation. Every day you have new one. Before you end the discussions, you decide upon the topic for the discussion on the following day. If you follow this routine regularly, maybe once or twice a day, I think you will stand to improve. To me, group discussions are very important. Again, as I said, from personal experience. During the first year in 1980, when I qualified for the police service, I had around 56% marks in the personality test. Next year, it was 80%, one of the highest in the country. And the difference was these group discussions. So my suggestion to you is that whereas mock interviews are important, but please don't go for mock interviews 15 days before. Do it before 15 days, not within 15 days of your actual interview, because that's not going to help you. It's going to make you nervous. But as soon as your results are announced, or even before that, even now, before the announcement of results, if you get down to WhatsApp group and start discussing, you will feel benefited as I did. Thank you.